Dear students, let us discuss about human respiratory system. Human respiratory system consists of nostrils, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, alveoli and lungs. In human beings, air is taken into the body through the nostrils. The air passing through the nostrils is filtered by fine hairs that line the passage. The passage is also lined with mucus, which helps in this process. From here, the air passes through the throat. Rings of cartilage are present in the throat, and these cartilaginous rings ensure the air passage doesn't collapse. So this trachea divides into form bronchus or bronchi, and each bronchi enter into each lungs. And these bronchi again divide to form small branches that is called as bronchiole. And each bronchiole ends in a balloon-like structure called alveoli. These alveoli are the site of gaseous exchange. When we breathe in, we lift our ribs and flatten our diaphragm, and the chest cavity becomes larger as a result. Because of this, air is sucked into the lungs and fills the expanded alveoli. So these alveoli filled with oxygen-rich air. This oxygen directly enters into the bloodstream by the process of diffusion. The alveoli are in close contact with network of blood vessels. So, oxygen by the process of diffusion enters into the bloodstream. This oxygen has high affinity towards hemoglobin that is present in RBC. So, this oxygen combines with hemoglobin to form oxyhemoglobin and transport in this combined form and release oxygen inside the cells. So as I spoke you before, inside the cells, the cellular respiration take place and release energy. This is a flow chart showing breakdown of glucose by various pathways. So you know that carbohydrate is an energy source and glucose is the simplest form of carbohydrate, which is a 6-carbon molecule. So inside the cells, in cytoplasm, the glucose breaks down to form pyruvate, which is a 3-carbon molecule, and release some amount of energy. Normally in respiration, that is takes place in the presence of oxygen and inside the mitochondria. So you know that mitochondria is called as the powerhouse of the cell. So in that powerhouse, in the presence of oxygen, the pyruvate breaks down to form carbon dioxide, water and energy. But in the absence of oxygen, in our muscle cells, the pyruvate breaks down to form lactic acid and release energy. But in yeast cells, the respiration takes place in the absence of oxygen. And it is also called as fermentation process that you studied in your previous class. So in fermentation, in yeast cells, the pyruvate breaks down to form ethanol, carbon dioxide and energy. So this one that is takes place in the presence of oxygen. So this type of respiration is called as aerobic respiration, and these two types are called as anaerobic respiration because these two take place in the absence of oxygen in different cells. But in all these processes, energy is released as a result of cellular respiration. The carbon dioxide which is produced in this aerobic respiration is a waste material. So the body needs to remove this waste material. The carbon dioxide is more soluble in water than oxygen. Hence, it is transported in the dissolved form in our blood. ATP is the energy currency for most cellular processes. The energy released during the process of respiration is used to make an ATP molecule from ADP and inorganic phosphate. This ATP is adenosine triphosphate. So we can conclude that in respiration the glucose breaks down in the presence of oxygen to produce energy, and this energy is used by the body to do various activities.